is your brother playing the best football of his career? And I'm just like, I mean, he caught 3. One is a tip pass. One the guy threw to him. The other one, he just threw it too far. I'm like, man, I watched him his rookie year. I mean, he was going to get them interceptions when he had them. But you're playing some pretty decent football. What's up, everybody? We're back here. Double coverage with the McCourty twins. Season 2, episode 4. As always, make sure you check us out on YouTube, iTunes. Make sure you subscribe. All you have to do is search double coverage with the McCourty twins.
Mama, we made it.
Come on, you were late on that one, man.
No, I was late because you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
Get it together, man. As always, you can find us on social media via Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
You usually do that first, probably. That's why I was late.
All you got to do is search at McCourty Twins. Quick shout out to our partners here at Double Coverage, Boston Medical Center and Embrace Kids Foundation. We've all come together to tackle sickle cell. You can learn more at tacklesicklecell.org. Coming up next month, it's rolling in fast. October 28th at Royale
coming fast
in Boston. Our annual Tackle Sickle Cell Casino Night. Like always, for tickets, sponsorship information, whatever you need, tacklesicklecell.org. Go there. You'll find all the information you need.
That's a great segue. People probably wondering why we Band-Aid up.
Yeah.
Tackle Sickle Cell. We, partner with Next Step Program, American Cross.
Yep.
Blood drive today. It was awesome at the Reggie Lewis Teen Center in Boston. We got to go, surprise some people, take some pictures. Dropped
off some autograph stuff for people coming out giving blood. But yeah,
cleats, football, and we gave blood.
Got a needle, gave some blood. Took about 5 minutes, nice and easy, in and out. Had a good time.
But Bill, director at Next Step, he was hyped up. He gave his pint of blood faster than us, so that was a win for him.
Yeah, not a win in my book.
Yeah.
Anyway, coming up on Monday, September 30th, we have the DURON HARMON karaoke night benefiting kids with autism.
If you haven't heard, we will be singing a bunch of songs.
Well, I mean, you're the one who volunteered to do
at least 10 songs between both of us.
No. You said you were going to do 10 songs. I'm going to go up there and do a song. That's what karaoke's for. You go up there.
Well, it depends how many people. It's a long night. You can't just do one.
HarmonKaraokeNight.com for tickets and information. Hopefully we see you guys there.
Yeah, we might need to give us something. We shouting him out. He got to give us some incentive. Something.
Yeah. So yeah, a little backhand stuff.
Yeah,
all of that. But let's wrap up the game. Patriots improved to 3-0, a win.
You could have said we. You're on the team now.
Yeah. We improved to 3-0, defeat the Jets, a division opponent, right here. Second home game. How was it?
It was awesome, man. Shout out Mario. He had to figure everything out. Everybody was mad. Game 1. Sound system was down, but he was here last week, late night. Had to go back to the stadium. They got everything right.
Turn it all off. Make sure it works right. Drop the lights.
Look, I mean, you watch this show, you get behind the scenes of what really happens.
Yeah.
And they got everything right. And because Ty Law came to town, Hall of Fame, they did a ceremony at halftime. Everybody saw. So, I mean, you got a hot day, late September in New England, great sound system, and the Pats win.
And they had to do like a dry run. It wasn't like, hey, you come into the office, it's an afternoon project. Nah, come back at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And
when everybody's gone, and let's.
There's a lot of
dedication
people,
in
a lot of
Gillette.
people that go into making stuff run smoothly on a Sunday afternoon at Gillette Stadium.
Not just the 53 guys and coaches, right?
Yeah, well, really, what is it, 46 people on the active roster? But I'm just asking, 46?
On game day.
Yeah, well, we were 53 people on the roster. We were at 52 because James White decided to have a baby during the game. And I spoke about this after the game. Guys got to stop being selfish. You got to plan these babies out so that we don't miss Sweet Feet on the day of the game. Hopefully,
all I'm gonna say is congrats, Sweet Feet and Shalik. Shalik had a baby
Calhoun, he had
early,
a baby too, a little
early
girl.
in the week. James White waited till Sunday. Hey, you don't know when the babies are gonna come.
I tell you what, this might be the most babies I've seen within the season.
Yeah,
I mean, we had E-Rob in the preseason, Slate in the preseason. Now James, we had KV on game 1. I mean, come on.
I mean, for one, the first thing James and KV got to do is see if they can still get their active bonus. For a lot of people that don't know, we talking NFL contracts now.
Per game bonuses is part of your contract.
Within your guaranteed money, usually is an active bonus about being up on the 46-man roster. So
on game day,
you might want to just negotiate. I mean, we might have to add that in the next CBA.
They can
Maternity active
leave.
roster.
Yeah,
Just to leave. And it's only one game. We don't want 3 months.
I don't see him getting that.
I
But
mean, I'm just saying.
once again, defense goes out there, doesn't allow any points in the game. Now, as a defender, you go out there, you don't let up a point, but you see the end of the game and the score is 30-14. Are you pissed off? Is it one of those things where it's just like, we got to win, we got to correct our mistakes and we move on? Or are you sitting there like, man, we didn't give up no points, but they still got 14 on the board?
Yeah, you're happy you won. I think that trumps everything. But yeah, we don't want no points on the board. Why does anybody want points on the board? Bill keeps telling us if they don't score, they don't win. So I think that's something you take pride in. But it's not like, you know what I mean? I don't think anybody cared that much. It didn't kill my celebration after the game. We're still happy we got the dub.
Without a doubt. And speaking of getting the wins, making plays, not giving up points, something that's been able to help the defense a great deal is having the league leader in interceptions. Roman.
I would argue to say Jamie's probably helped the most.
Roman, I just said one of the things.
Okay.
Roman, the back end of our secondary. Now 3 interceptions in 3 games. What is it you're reading? I mean, obviously this last one, I mean, he threw the ball to you. We're not going to argue that. But you're in the right place at the right time. So
what was our college term?
What, catch the ones they throw you?
Yeah.
So what is it you're reading that's putting you in the right place, the right time? Somebody asked me after the game, is your brother playing the best football of his career? And I'm just like, I mean, he caught 3. One is a tip pass. One the guy threw to him. The other one, he just threw it too far. I'm like, man, I watched him his rookie year. I mean, he was going to get them interceptions when he had them. But you're playing some pretty decent football. Has anything changed from last year to this year? What's been the reason why?
Sometimes the ball finds you, but I think overall in our secondary, we put a lot of time and effort into knowing what teams want to do, how they want to attack us, understanding our strengths and our weaknesses. And I think through that, you guys, everybody that plays corner, Pat playing strong safety, the backers, they know where I'm going to be. They know where Dude's going to be. And I think that allows us all to play fast. You know, if anybody's ever to get back there or somebody's mic'd up, you can see all the communication that goes on pre-snap, post-snap. And I think it's all the minds on the field of everything we've watched during the week of when we see something, it's like, bang. Let's get to this. Let's get to that. Let's alert this. Let's alert that. Hey, I know where Dev's going to be. I know where Jay Jones is going to be. And then we just go fast. And I think that's enabled myself to be the guy who, you know what I mean, I getting all the fruit right now. I'm under the tree and they just dropping in my hand. But I think it's everybody overall playing well and playing team defense.
You must be living right because the ball is finding you.
I did.
3 weeks
My wife picked my daughter up, took her from school, took her to dance. I picked my son up solo, brought him home, got him right, snack and all that. So, you know, maybe going out of my way to do the true dad duties.
I don't think just
that was after giving blood today.
Okay, maybe that, but picking up your son at school doesn't qualify.
But it's like being Superman.
How do you not buy into the hype right now as a defense?
It's easy. It's week 3.
Okay.
Last year, what were we by week 3? 1 and 2?
1 and 2. We started the season 1 and 2.
I mean, we're the worst team in the NFL.
That's what's funny to me. Now, my second year here last year, I just remember being this time in the season, everybody's
We just lost to Detroit, Sunday Night Football.
Barreling it on, how bad we are, how old Tom is, how old the whole team is, this, that, and the third. And now this year, we're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And
they're like, will they ever give up a touchdown in a 16 game?
Yeah, so I think that, I mean, and like you just said, the fact that it's still September, no player is where they're going to be or where they need to be for the remainder of the season, and no team the same way is what they're going to be or where they need to be to get to where they want to go at this point in the season. So there's a lot more work to do, and it's up to us to continue to put that work in and make sure we're continuing to improve and not buying into that type of hype. So, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but it was a cool game. This was the first game of the season that the kids came to. Jason's 2 oldest kids, 6 and 3, checked out the game, got pictures. Somebody DM'd us pictures. You know, that was
my wife.
cool.
I don't know how excited she was that they were at the game.
It's a lot of work.
A lot of work. They don't want to sit. It's too hot. The sun is too hot. I know how to snack. I'm ready to go. They're
my
too
man
loud.
Caden had a lot of candy, right?
Yeah, he was hanging
Swedish
out.
Fish
It
or
was
something?
hanging out. They said I got to tell DURON this. They said he gamed his son. His son had the fruit snacks, And Caden was watching my wife's phone. He was on YouTube Kids. So he said to Dallas, hey, you want to watch the phone? So while Dallas picks up the phone, he's watching YouTube Kids. He got his little fruit snacks right here. Caden's just sitting there behind his back, just throwing them all in his mouth, eating. So, I mean, I taught him something. I taught him right, you know. But, yeah, they were at the game. I don't know if they'll be attending any more of them, but it was cool to have them out there.
You got to do how my wife did it. The kids came with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. So they basically came to run around on the field and take pictures after. Great time after the game. Didn't see much of the game. No interception, no defense, no time. They didn't see any of that.
I didn't even know they let you in the stadium at that point.
My wife makes sure you've heard her go. She talks a lot.
How's your fantasy team doing?
We took another loss last week. The 1 p.m. games kill me. I'm like a lot of.
Before you get into how your team's doing, when I was talking to my wife about what we were going to be discussing on the podcast, she wanted me to make sure I let it be known that she is #1 in the fantasy league right now.
Yeah, but I beat her, so that's irrelevant. And it's only week 3, like we just said.
I don't know. I don't play. She just wanted me to share.
I'm like many people across the world who play fantasy football and have to work on Sunday, and especially when you have to work right at 1 p.m. It makes it tough. I made some last-minute moves the morning, but I didn't complete my lineup, so I didn't start my man Rex Burkhead. I missed out on some points there. So I'm still navigating the whole fantasy football.
1 and 2?
I'm 1 and 2. Sound familiar?
Close games?
Sound familiar?
Close games, blowouts?
No, it's close. I'm always close. But sound familiar?
Yeah, I've been 1 and 2 throughout my career before.
Sound familiar last year, I'm just saying. Been 1 and 2 before, so you might want to tell your wife, don't get a little too excited.
Hold them up, swole them up.
Hold them up, swole them up.
Moving on, we got Buffalo this week. Division opponent on the road. We got these back-to-back 3 straight games of
in the division.
Yeah, Miami Jets now going to Buffalo.
3-0 versus 3-0.
A team that's 3-0, undefeated, playing good football. Josh Allen running all over the place.
Got a question for you.
Yeah.
What is one thing that's guaranteed leaving this game?
Like my mom always tells me, somebody has to lose.
So somebody won't be undefeated. Dang, you're sharp.
Somebody won't be undefeated. I guess now you can't say somebody's got to lose, being that Detroit and Arizona already has had a tie, but somebody's not going to be undefeated by the end of the day. But like you said, they're 3-0. They beat the Giants, the Jets, and just I think it was this
Cincinnati.
game. Yeah, they beat Cincinnati. I think it was in Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it was at home. I'm not sure. I got to double check that. But yeah, team riding high right now, playing some really good football. Going down there, New Era Field. And I played there a few times, even when it was Ralph Wilson Stadium. But last year, going down there on that Monday night game, I mean, insane. Bills Mafia, loud, like obnoxious. They don't like us. A really cool atmosphere. Would you rank that as one of the top places to go play?
No doubt about it. And it doesn't get. I say it every year. It's one place that people don't talk about enough. And I don't know. Maybe they really get extra juice when we come to town. But every time we go to Buffalo, it's not a very welcoming area to go to. So I love it. Very hostile environment. We've had some good games there. They've played us really well there. I remember they snapped a streak, I think back in like 2012. We had one there, and they beat us right there on a Sunday afternoon. So, and this year, they're going to have all the confidence in the world. They have a great defense. Josh Allen's a stud. A lot of speed on their offense. So it'll be tough. Probably be the biggest challenge of the year for us. I say from, all phases of the game, offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, I would agree. And like you said, them on defense, their secondary, their front seven, they do a really good job of putting pressure on the quarterback and showing them different looks and moving around and being able to make plays. And for us as a defense going against their offense, like you said, they brought in a lot of guys. They've added Beasley. They've added John Brown on the outside as receivers. And both of those guys quick and fast and can go.
Young tight end and Knox and Singletary in the backfield.
Yeah, and they added the guy, the ageless wonder, and Frank Gore that's still running the ball hard, still picking up the tough yards.
He's like 25. Somebody's got to check his birth certificate.
I mean, I think that was him on the game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, sure it was.
Versus, I think that was the Giants when they played them, hammering it in on the goal line. So definitely going to be a tough opponent. This early in the season, like you said, they're 3-0. They're 3. Do records really matter?
Not to me. I say it's just you play bad. Let's say you play bad for 3 games in a row, but you play bad 3 games in a row when you're 8-0. So now you go to 8-3. No one really cares. But if you start off 0-3, it's like, oh man, their season's over.
That's a good point.
you still have so much time to get better. And like you said earlier, it's only September. You know, you start talking about games that matter after Thanksgiving, early December, throughout December, and then early January. You don't want to play your best football in September and then just, you know, kind of plateau out. You want to continue to increase and get better. That's something we've prided ourselves on around here for years. So, like I said, this will be a great early season test. It won't at all determine the fate of our season.
Yeah.
But anytime you go against a really good football team, you want to try to bring out your best.
What is it? How do we deal with the loss of a guy like James Devlin going on IR right now?
It's tough because Devlin's as close as it gets. He's not a captain, but he's a captain type of guy on our team. Obviously a great leader. Offensively, special teams, a lot of guys looked in for leadership. He's been in the league. This is his 10th year in the league. He's been on our team, it feels like forever. So obviously I think his toughness, you know, I think everyone sees him throwing blocks and doing all that stuff on the field. But, you know, you walk in the weight room on a Monday afternoon, Devlin's up
knee
there.
braces on.
He's squatting 700 pounds. Like he's the hardest working guy in there. So not having him, but I think he's one of those guys just like DA, David Andrews. They'll be around. They'll be in there encouraging guys. So, you know, you never know. Season's long. You know, the new rule with IR is guys can come back and all of that. So,
and I know for me coming here, like you thinking when people say, "Oh, the Patriot way," or "He's a Patriot." James Devlin is a guy that you just put a picture of him and he defines what it means kind of to be a Patriot. A guy that is a fullback, but he'll line up and he'll be split out wide. He'll be on special teams.
Catch a hitch route.
You know what I mean? He does a little bit of everything, and he's tough mentally and he's tough physically. So I think,
and he's a guy when he first came, he started on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Then became active. I mean, kind of like Jakob.
I remember talking to McDaniels about him. Just like, I think he was a defensive end
for Brown.
And he said he got there and he said, I was just like, where am I going to put this guy on my offense? And he was just like week by week, like he just kept getting better and better and better and has developed into a key part of our offense. So obviously a guy that's tough to replace, and his presence definitely will be missed. But like you just said, Jakob Johnson.
First NFL game.
Yeah,
it was cool though. Jawan Williams, Damian Harris, guys dressed
active.
Like that's awesome to see for older guys.
But I think with Jakob is really cool because you got a guy, he played football at the University of Tennessee, UT, from Germany, a guy that came over in a new program that was started and was kind of like an extra roster spot. And just to see, as like you just said, an older guy, how much he's gotten better each and every week to where he is now, to be able to be out there contributing for us on a Sunday afternoon, man, does a lot.
Yeah, he continues to get better. It makes it tough on us in one-on-ones and everything we do, building our fundamentals. So can't wait to see him down the line, just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, for sure. For those of you that don't know, Friday afternoon, evening, we released Antonio Brown from the New England Patriots. A lot of stuff went on with all of that. As a captain player on the team, this is the question you've probably got after since he's gotten there for the past 10, 11 days. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's the only time I've answered it, exclusively on double coverage.
Yeah.
I think it kind of is what it is. You know, I think obviously great talent, brought a lot of skill set to the offense and obviously made the team better. But I think with everything, you know, there's a lot of stuff, you know, that he's dealing with off the field. And I think as players and when you're on a football team, when things happen, you got to focus on the here and now. Who's on the team, how you can improve, how you focus on the next game. So, and I think with, you know, everything happening on Friday and now you got your game coming Sunday, I think the good thing was we were done with media for the week. Guys could, you know, focus on the game. And, you know, I wish him the best moving forward, but obviously it didn't work out with him here in New England. And like I always say, no one man builds a team or stops the team. We'll always continue to try to get better and ultimately win games.
Without a doubt, 100% agree. And I saw he's getting ready to take some classes going back to Central Michigan. So wishing him the best.
Nothing wrong with improving yourself.
Yeah, best of luck with that. And as players, such a short time, you didn't really get a chance when somebody asked me, did I like him? And I'm like, I didn't really even get a chance to know him well enough to say I liked him, disliked him. But like you just said, to be able to practice against him, practice with him and see his talent. Obviously, he's one of the best receivers playing in the game right now. And hopefully you see him on another team at some point. So
too talented not to.
For sure. We'll stay right in the wide receiver game. Obviously, Philly fans are not happy with the way Nelson Aguilar is catching the ball because my guy is out here
I think he had 2 touchdowns in the game, though.
Yeah, I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But either way, my guy's out here. I don't know. I should have looked up his name. But he's out here being a hero in Philly, catching babies.
Catching babies. Like, building, burning, and he's catching babies.
Like, that is elite.
And they interview him right after.
And
so, like, right after. I don't even think he had the cool-off time that we get.
what killed me wasn't like.
Now, let the people know what he said, though. Like,
But it wasn't what he said. It was more of his facial expressions that got me. Like, as I watch him, it was just like, we out here catching babies, unlike AGHOLOR. I'm gonna put that out there, and I'm just like,
Kev just said, 8 catches, 2 touchdowns. It don't all
impressive.
go well, but I mean, it's not like he was out there stinking it up.
Yeah,
and my man took a shot on him on the local news, like, hey, he basically said Nelson Aguilar wouldn't have caught the babies.
yeah, but it's Philly. This is the Northeast. Like, they don't care.
But Nelson Aguilar jumps on Twitter, tells the guy, you and your family come to the game on me.
On
Because
me.
you are a hero in the community. You can't beat that. You looking for who we're going to get MVP, community MVP this week? Nelson Aguilar. Now, does the guy take him up on the offer? You take a shot right at my man, and he comes back and kills you with kindness. What's the guy going to do?
Oh, I'm there. Free tickets to the game. I'm there. And he gonna probably tell him, and you better catch the ball when I show up.
Does he take a signed gear from Nelson? Anything, signed jersey, football? You think he'll take it?
I would imagine so. He's probably a diehard Philly fan. He goes hard for his hometown team, probably.
So you're all for it.
I mean, not while we catching babies. Let's focus on these babies we catching. Leave football alone, like,
And then take a shot. Or shot not necessary.
shot not necessary.
Okay, I'm just
we out
making
here
sure we're in the
he's
same
out here
path.
saving babies. I
Saving
don't care about
lives.
no football.
He's irrelevant. Nothing to talk about.
You know what I mean?
Hey, to each his own.
Year 10, year 11. Just to give a little bit of insight, a little behind the scenes, what's it like for you to, from one game to the next? It's a long season. Bye weeks come, you get only one bye week. You get a Thursday night game that kills you up a little bit, but you get the weekend off after that. How do you get your body back just ready to go from a week to week standpoint? And not only from a Sunday to a Sunday, but you're playing the game on a Sunday and you're right back. Most of the times, most teams full pads practice on Wednesday. What do you do to be able to get back physically and mentally to get ready to go?
You ever hear about a lion or a tiger doing all that stuff to get back? Man, you just wake up and go. What's wrong with you?
Well, for me, it doesn't really work like that.
Man, because you're soft.
Mondays, you go
Born
in
in the
there.
80s.
Mondays, you go in there, you get you a lift in, a run. Then we're meetings, we're watching the film and all of that.
Yeah, that's all cute.
Tuesday's the off day, so I'm getting a massage. Now the thing with Tuesdays, for guys that don't have kids, their Tuesdays are
lovely.
awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing Tuesday. Probably not waking up till 10 o'clock, like you're sleeping in. You know what I mean?
I remember those days.
For me, I'm dropping off at school.
I remember those days. I could stay up late Monday if I need to, watch some TVs,
In the
catch
community a little bit, but I mean, from massage twice a week to sometimes getting some dry needle and acupuncture in, stretching. We have ART is available for us in the train room as
Getting
well.
in the hot and cold. Well, I'm a hot tub.
Hot tub.
Epsom salt guy.
Yeah, every day. Those are the things that it takes, to be able to be at an elite level week in and week out, to be able to be there for your teammates and your team. So,
And honestly, I think it's listening to your body. It's not just sticking in one routine saying, man, I only could get 2 massages this week, or I only can do this, or if your body's hurting more, you got to do more. You got to understand what it is that you have to do to get your body ready to go, because this is your livelihood.
yeah, and for a lot of kids that are playing sports and you sit there and it's just like, oh, I need to specialize. I need to specialize. When you get our age, you don't have no choice but to specialize because your body's not going to be able to play multiple things. But young
when you're
kid,
young, go
man,
have
do
fun.
everything. Go have fun. See what you're good at. You may want to specialize in baseball, but being a safety may be the best thing that you can do. And you enjoy both sports, then go out and play for whatever you love,
And as you look back on your sports career, probably nothing helped you out better than playing basketball and being out there playing defense and working on your foot speed.
Hand-eye coordination.
Yeah, all of that stuff. And I think about all the guys that, these quarterbacks that were great baseball players, like all of that stuff, and I think the relationships and the fun you have, it helps. When you play one sport, I think, and it becomes a job too early, you kind of burn out.
Yeah. Have you been paying attention to this? The NFL's releasing the top 100 greatest.
Seen a little bit on Twitter. Seen it here and there.
So the Patriots have made it in 3 spots. 3 spots in the top 10.
Only 2 that we really care about, though, huh?
Is it 2? It's really only 1 that you care about.
Oh yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
even
it's
realize.
really only one. So that's the only one I'm going to talk about. I'll mention
Nah,
the
you-
other two.
you
I
might as well
wasn't a
mention them, I
I
mean.
wasn't a part of them anyway, so I don't really care. But the David Tyree catch in Super Bowl 42 made it to number 3 overall, which was a ridiculous catch. I mean, caught it on his helmet.
Great
like,
catch.
I
Great
mean,
catch.
against a Hall of Famer and Rodney Harrison. So,
Great catch.
I mean, you really can't.
Shout out David Tyree spoke to us when we were at Rutgers.
I remember that. I
Came
remember
in
that.
Friday night before the
I
game.
remember that. He's working with the Giants actually. The Philly special, Super Bowl 52, came in at 10th.
Not a fan.
Overall.
Totally disagree.
Copycat league. You've seen that play now probably 10 times in the NFL since then, but pretty good.
I do agree with this one though.
Good, yeah.
Probably should have been higher. but
Number
hey.
5 overall, the Malcolm Butler interception in Super Bowl 49, which sealed the deal.
Definitely should be higher.
For New England to
Definitely should be higher.
defeat Seattle. Now, were you on the field for that play?
No, I was on the sideline.
So what was that? What was that feeling like?
You
Like,
just went crazy. I mean,
I guess I know what the feeling
don't-
was like, but I'm gonna just ask.
you don't have time to think. You know what I mean? No one's thinking like everybody thinks like, oh, you thought you lost. No, you don't. You're not thinking about that. You're just out there. You're like, man, what's going on next, man? Oh, goal line 3 corners, go in, get in. Oh, he caught it, and I just stormed on the field, and we went crazy. And I think I ran like 150 yards because I was like
Going back,
running
and forth.
this way. Then I seen Vince on the floor, and I celebrated
So
with Vince.
you were on the sideline. I mean, everybody watching is probably like, well, where was Jay at? So I mean, I was right outside the stadium, looking in through the window, and when I saw the play, because I didn't go to the game at that point, it hasn't been well. We're 0-8, 0-5,
Yeah,
and while attending each other's games.
when not playing on the same.
We're
team.
not playing on the same team. So I was on the outskirts, but it actually worked out perfect because I'm standing out there. My wife is with me. She's watching the game. She's like, he intercepted it. We won the game. So then we enter the stadium, and we're right next to the ramp where you go down to go on the field. So we were literally first in line with our field pass to go on the field. So when the rest of the family got down there, they was able to skip ahead and come with me to go on the field. So that was my first experience with a Super Bowl victory. So it wasn't.
Yeah, but you didn't win, so I wouldn't call that an experience. But Malcolm Butler should at least be 2 overall, my opinion.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it's not your opinion. Yeah. What you got going on in group chat?
Group chat's good, man. Adam Sandler, new movie, Undercut Gems. I just saw it. Uncut. My
Gems.
bad.
Kevin
Uncut.
Garnett's in that, huh?
I just saw the trailer. He's gambling, he's betting on the games, and looks like he's gonna get beat up a couple of times. He's a little bloody and all of that. But what I was hyped about was it seemed like KG is like really acting in the movie. I think that's awesome to see former players doing a bunch of stuff. Obviously, Kevin Garnett's on the Area 21 on TNT and all of that. But maybe he jumped acting career. I don't know how many roles he can do at 7 foot. But I mean, you watch Game of Thrones, you had the Giant and all of that. So I mean, Hollywood is always looking for the next great. But I thought it was cool. And Kevin Garnett, like usual, had like the whole 10-carat earring in his ear, which is always dope. But
Yeah,
it looks like a good movie.
The trailer looked pretty good, man. I'm looking forward to that. I'm used to seeing Adam Sandler though. It don't really seem like
You don't like him in
comedy.
a serious
So
role?
I mean, we'll see. I'm not.
He's gonna definitely have some comedy in there.
I'm not used
Versatility.
to.
You play for the Patriots. You should be all about versatility.
Chicago got the win last night on Monday night, and
Club Dub.
in Chicago fashion, they
Did you see this?
Nah, I didn't see this.
Oh man, I didn't see like the true video, but I saw like where they blanked out my man Kyle Love's private area. But Club Dub, if y'all don't know,
Who? Kyle? Oh, Kyle Long.
Kyle Long, if you don't know, every time Chicago wins, they get back in the locker room, lights out. They got the little disco ball. Looks like you are in the club, and Club Dub is jumping. Tariq Cohen decides to go live on Club Dub, and in the background, which happens in most locker rooms, but they probably should make a sign when they turn into Club Dub. It gotta now not be the locker room, but the club. Kyle Long is violating all club rules, and he's butt naked in the background of the video. And you know what I mean? I gotta text Chris Long and pass it on to Kyle, like, what are we doing? But it let people know everything that goes on in the NFL locker room. It has now since been deleted, but it's 2019, so no matter what you delete, it can always come back. And it's out there now. It's all out in the web world, you know. So I'm sure people will be searching heavily for it.
Now, did you watch any of that Chicago Redskins game last night?
Some of it.
Did you happen to catch the camera gets a shot of Gruden on the sideline, and there's the MVP for the Redskins in the back stirring up the Gatorade. Like this was all over social media. And is there a guy that stirs the Gatorade?
I saw people saying like they're focusing on wrong things. How else do you make Gatorade? You pour mix in water and you gotta mix it together. My man was back there doing his job.
Now,
Salute
is
him.
there an unsung hero on the Patriots sideline stirring up the Gatorade?
I'm not sure who stirs it up. It's one of the student trainers.
I feel like now coming up this upcoming Sunday, there's gonna be camera crews that are gonna be
Who's gonna
searching for who's stirring up the Gatorade. And then the next question is gonna be for guys that have been on multiple teams. Like you think about a guy like McCown who's in Philly, they're gonna ask him, which team have you played on that had the best sideline Gatorade? That's coming up.
I'm a water guy. If I have Gatorade, I gotta put some water in it. I'm not a big Gatorade guy.
Yeah, we didn't ask all that. All right. Now, last week we talked about the Ball brothers, and one NBA exec says Melo Ball may have a chance to go #1 overall in the draft of 2020.
If he keeps killing it, they say how he's been killing it. I saw a projection that had him like top 5. So maybe my man knew what he was talking about. He knew what he was doing. After all, Triple B's, man, big baller brand.
Long way. Draft's not till June, so I feel like that's
I mean, they jumped the gun.
That's have a lot, but I mean, if you're talking about the kid being a lottery pick, then I mean, it'll be a journey well traveled to get into the NBA.
Probably could have just went to high school, then did 1 year of college. But hey, who am I?
Yeah,
I don't know anything.
I agree.
I assume that probably would have got you there. His brother did it. Why wouldn't he? But hey,
Pats win 116 games in a decade.
Pretty cool, huh? I mean, I saw one tweet that said Pats probably don't care until they start giving out trophies for regular season wins.
Sounds about right.
Another cool stat I saw, 3 QBs in one room in 2016 and 17, I think, the years Jacoby was here.
Yeah.
Those 3 quarterbacks are now 8-1.
8-1.
8-1. Jacoby has the 1 loss. Jimmy's undefeated. Tom's undefeated. Pretty cool. That's a stacked quarterback room, one would say.
For sure. That's some solid work. I mean, like you said, though, it's early in the season. Who cares?
Why'd you just touch my computer?
Oh, my bad. Anyway.
Yeah, don't touch my computer anymore, man.
6-year-old child arrested in Orlando for battery.
So I read this story, pretty disturbing. In Orlando, a resource officer gets called to the classroom, I guess, and the 6-year-old got arrested for battery, but it was said that she had a tantrum. 6-year-old had a tantrum. She was handcuffed, taken out of school, fingerprinted, and took a mug shot before being released to her grandmother.
How old?
6 years old. 2 6-year-olds were arrested. They don't have the name of the other 6-year-old, but the other 6-year-old was taken to a juvenile center and released. I'm not sure if the other 6-year-old had to get fingerprinted and mugshot taken, but it was mind-boggling. I think the officer now has. I'm not sure if he got fired. I know he's definitely on leave while they investigate, but I don't know if the investigation is over or not. But the chief was pretty angry. The chief said he has 3 grandkids, all 11 and under, and felt it was kind of ridiculous for a 6-year-old to have to go through that. So just a sad case. As a 6-year-old, could you imagine not really understanding what's going on, but being handcuffed and then fingerprinted? Like that is I don't know, that's out of control.
Dang, yeah. I mean, my oldest is just 6 years old, so to think of the thought of her being in handcuffs. I mean, she doesn't even like watching scary stuff on TV. If somebody got arrested on TV, she'd probably break down. So the thought of that's just.
And now that 6-year-old has to go back home, and like the next day at school, everything's like normal. Like
yeah.
That's the sad part of it. Is like it's not over now for that kid.
Yeah, crazy. Andy Dufresne.
25-year anniversary to Shawshank Redemption. That was on Monday the 23rd. I saw it on my Twitter feed. Felt like it was worth putting in. One of the best movies of all time.
Favorite character?
Red. Red is a man who gets some things that you need.
Bro, by far Andy Dufresne.
No, it's definitely Morgan Freeman as Red. Great movie.
Elite.
If you haven't seen it, long movie. You got a nice Sunday. Maybe for the bye week, Pats won't play. Pick the bye week, turn on Shawshank Redemption, watch it all the way through. Trust me, you will not regret it. You will not regret it. What we got? What's next?
I remember watching that movie in high school. But yeah, definitely. I think let's go on Twitter. Let's look at some of these questions that we have. You got them pulled up?
My mom was just blowing us up, trying to figure out how she could.
How do you write messages to the podcast? Was her question. And I had no idea, like, how do you write messages to the podcast? I don't know.
Isn't she on Twitter?
Yeah, I don't know
So
what
see
that
if
means.
she's in our mentions while I read some of these questions out. What is the stupidest interview question you guys have ever been asked?
I feel like there's too many to choose from.
Um,
When I know for sure the question I always got, like, when you're on a team and you're not winning,
Yeah, I
and
haven't got that one.
you come in from a game, and the question is, so what is it? Why are you guys not able to pull it together and win games? And it's just like, if I knew the answer to that question, we'd be undefeated. Like,
well, see, I got that question in 2011 when I didn't play well. Everyone asked me why I wasn't playing well. So we're in the
was your
same
answer?
boat. What was my answer? I said I need to find that magic potion that Mike Jordan had in Space Jam. And I got it now, baby.
What's the toughest part of being a football player? How do you balance your marriage, fatherhood, and all of that good stuff during football season?
That's a good question. That's Michelle Jones. Good question. I think it takes practice, honestly, because while you're playing football, if you're fortunate enough to have a longer career, every year is a different phase of your life. You know, starting out as a rookie, no kids, no wife, just playing football really was your main focus. And then as you get older, I got married, and then, you know, you're trying to make sure you're doing everything to serve your wife in your free time and let her know how important she is. And then you have kids, and now you're both trying to serve each other, but also take care of your kids. So I think communication is the biggest thing. Shout out Apple, iPhone, the calendar has been great. You got the family side of the calendar. I try to plug everything in there. I just had to plug some stuff in today to make sure for next week. So
Yeah, what we
that's been a big
did
help.
was we actually have a big calendar right on the wall, dry erase board calendar, and
Where'd you get
able
that idea from?
I don't know. We're able to fill it all
From
in.
This Is Us, man. Give a shout out where it's due.
We're able to fill it all in and stay up to track. But I feel like it's always a challenge. Like you said, communication is key. But there's just a lot of sacrifice that goes on. You know, I think for our wives, they're the better half of it. They have to go through a lot, and they have to deal with a lot with kind of knowing what's going on. And while we're kind of chasing our dream, they're kind of put on the back burner when it comes to all that. But when it comes to being a father and all that, I remember hearing Kobe Bryant when he came and talked to us in the spring. And I mean, it doesn't get any more relentless and hard worker as he was. The way he just threw his whole body into the NBA, into basketball to achieve everything he achieved. And the one thing he said was when he'd go into practice, that same attitude, that same mindset you walk into the arena with is the same mindset you need to walk into your house with when it comes to being a father, whether you're being a human jungle gym at home, helping the kids with homework, or just laying down with a bowl of popcorn watching a movie. You got to have that same type of energy. And it's not always easy because you're playing a Sunday night game on the road. You come back, it's 4 a.m. You wake up Monday, you go into work. You just want to sleep when you go home. So I think that's the challenge of just always conditioning yourself to give it the best possible effort.
I got a quick one. Y'all can't. I'm Rick James. It's a Twitter. Y'all can't have different hairdos so we could tell y'all apart.
I wish we could.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're bald. Man.
Yeah, I mean,
the hair
for
left
all,
us.
for all the other fellow ball guys out there, I mean, you know the struggle.
Ball gang is
you
where it's
hold
at,
on
though.
for as long as you possibly can, and then at some point you just got to give it up. We got.
Hold on, this is a good one. Damian Sharkey. What makes Matthew Slater such a special human being?
Man, I would probably say his faith drives him the most, and I think with having that, the way he treats people because of that, a kind person, caring to everyone, and that just rubs off on other people, and you can sense it as soon as you're in a room with them.
Yeah, for those, he spends a lot of time working on his body to be out there at 34 years old, but he's the guy we are going to ask to get his schedule and try to get him on here.
Yeah.
He'd be great. So that's our request. We got a special guest coming up next week. I think we got our 2 guests for the next 2 weeks coming on, 2 defenders. So we're gonna work on
would
getting
you ever
Slate.
consider coaching as a second career? And if so, they said who would be better, me or you?
I would definitely be a better coach. Overall knowledge, I understand it. I'm a great teacher. I do it every week on the field, but I would not coach in the NFL or college. Pop Warner or high school max.
I agree with everything except the fact that you'd be a better coach. That was bull. Well, where we got? Who's the better cook? Let's see if you answer this honestly.
I don't cook that much.
Okay,
But I do get on the grill though. You don't, so I will go with me. Shout out Traeger grills. That's what I use.
Are you really friends with Tom Curran? Did Tom Curran write this?
No, I am not.
Can't stand Tom Curran.
We work in the same kind of job industry. But
Why is Quick Slants your favorite show from NBC Sports, NBC Patriots?
I never said that.
You never said
that?
I like Quick Slants.
I didn't say I didn't like it. I never said it was my favorite show.
I mean,
it was a lot better
last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not gonna say any names.
Yeah.
But hey. I mean, I guess the guy's doing solid. I saw somebody told me he was doing a good job.
I mean, he's following a tough act.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, let's go over some winners and losers of the week. And I'll start. Are you a bad news first kind of guy? Bad news, good guy?
I'm going to go bad news because I just thought of this. Loser of the weekend, my man that was catching babies out of the window in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Gotta be him. You're saving lives catching babies, and you take the time to be negative. One of the most positive times to take advantage and show how positive people can be and help other people out for no reason. You take a shot at a young man who's working his butt off to play football.
And he'll be at an Eagles game this upcoming weekend because of it. Winner of the week, who you got? Jarrell Jerome wins an Emmy for best role in playing Corey in a Netflix story, When They See Us.
Yeah, the exonerated.
Phenomenal series.
The exonerated 5, he played Corey. He played the role awesome. It was just watching him, you felt for the character the whole time. And I got to see his speech where he thanked his mom. He thanked a ton of people to be where he was at. So that was a cool moment just to see, and everyone stood up, and he gave a special shout out to the 5 guys who When They See Us was based on, and they stood up. It was very impactful, a very impactful moment.
We have a 2-time winner though, well, a double winner in a day. You gave him, you said he lost the weekend, but I'm giving him my community MVP. My man catching babies out of a building in Philly. I mean, can you do more for your community? Have you?
Yeah, take a shot. Nelson Aguilar.
I'll do one better. You've been a multiple community MVP on our show, correct?
I don't know, probably.
Have you ever caught a baby out of a building?
No.
Wrapping up.
There was a guy, I think, in Brazil that climbed a building, bare hands to get a baby.
But our community MVP has to be in our community. It's limited. Once you can leave the United States, you can't make it on our show for community MVP. As a reminder, you can find the audio version on iTunes as well as a video version on YouTube. All you have to do is search Double Coverage with the McCourty twins. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and tell your friends to subscribe too. Let's get some more viewers on this thing. Once again, thank you to our partners at Boston Medical Center and the Embrace Kids Foundation. See you guys next episode.
Check us out next week. We got one of the hardest hitters coming through.
Yeah.
Sit on the couch.
Let's get them.